as promised, we are back playing some Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition. Today we're going to have the Knights of Bretonnia are going to take on the Demons of Chaos. We're just going to play a pitched battle. We've got our table all set up, got some random buildings here, we've got some forest, and we've got a tower in the center. We're going to be playing at 4,000 points today, so I will get ready and we'll take you over to the armies, and then we'll get started. Alright, somebody else wanted to go first this time, so tell me what 4,000 points of Bretonnians looks like.
To make up the bulk of the army, we got 2 units, each of 15 knights, a unit of 9 knight errants to kind of serve as a bit of an entourage for the enchantress, 12 questing knights, 12 rail knights there, as well as 60 men-at-arms.
With spears?
Yep. 60, or wait, that's not 60, is it?
40.
40 archers.
With the braziers?
Mm-hmm, and the defense stakes.
Okay.
36 battle pilgrims. 12 archer skirmishers. 2 of the, trebuchets.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 Pegasus knights. While the army will be led by, 5 paladins, a sorceress, a prophetess, it's a damsel and a prophetess,
okay,
and the Lord.
Okay, sweet.
Most of them have their own magic items, which we'll see throughout the game.
All right, and your prophetess is doing lore of life, correct?
And the damsel is doing beasts.
All right, that is 4,000 points of Bretonnians. That's a lot of armor. All right, we'll go over to the demons and be right back. Alright, here is 4,000 points of demons, or I should say Nurgle, because we are going mono Nurgle. We have a unit of 40 plague bearers, a unit of 60 plague bearers, 30 plague bearers, then another unit of 30 plague bearers. We've got the Great Unclean One leading the army. We have this wonderful avatar of war demon prince here, and he's even got little wings so he can fly. We've got a battle standard bearer. We've got a regular herald and another regular herald. A unit of 6 Nurglings. This is our Nurgle Soul Grinder. He's got the Phlegm Bombardment, very appropriate for Nurgle. Sadly, he doesn't really have wings, so he can't fly. 2 lone plague bearers. Beasts of Nurgle. 2 lone Beasts of Nurgle. A big unit of 6 Beasts of Nurgle. And the plague drones, or rotflies, or whatever they're called. The flying Nurgles. All right, so there we go. We are trying a little bit of a house rule this time. I've seen some other people play it, and it seems kind of fun, so we're going to give it a try. All the wizards know the signature spell in addition to the spells they roll. So basically, all the wizards on the table are getting 1 extra spell, which I think is kind of fair and gives you a little bit more options for magic. All right, so there we are. My Great Unclean One is a level 4 on Nurgle. The Demon Prince is a level 4 on Death. And the Standard Bearer is a level 1 on Nurgle. The other 2 heralds don't have any spells. So that's it. That's 4,000 points of demons. And we are going to go ahead and get set up. And then we will show you guys what the table looks like. Alright, we are all set up for our battle line game of Bretonnians against Nurgle Daemons. Starting over here on the demon side, we've got 30 plague bearers, with a herald who has the lesser locus, which basically means they have poison on a 5-up. We've got the plague drones, soul grinder, lone beast of Nurgle, big papa Nurgle, big unit of plague bearers with the battle standard, the level 1 wizard. He also has the lesser locus. Big unit of beasts of Nurgles, lone beast of Nurgle, the demon prince, another block of plague bearers with a herald up there. He also has the lesser locus. This one has a lesser gift that he ended up swapping for, I think, the sword of battle, whichever one gives him an extra attack. And we have the Nurglings over here. The Great Unclean one had a lesser gift, which was always strikes first. He rolled a 6. So that's it. That's the Nurgle line. You want to run down the Bretonnians for us?
Got the Grail Knights with the Grail Paladin, Trebuchet, Skirmisher Archers, the Battle Pilgrims with the Foot Paladin, the 3 Pegasus Knights with their Paladin, Knights of the Realm with the Lord, the Men-at-Arms with the Damsel, the Archers, the Errants with the Prophetess. Got the other Union Knights of the Realm with the Battle Standard, other Trebuchet, and the Questing Knights with the Questing Paladin.
All right. There we are. And the Bretonnians are going to pray?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So looks like Nurgle's going to go first. We will catch you guys up after Nurgle turn 1. Not a bad first turn for the Nurgle Daemons. Of course, everybody moved up. We got an unlucky roll on the Reign of Chaos table, which was a 3, which was punished by the gods. I had to pick one of my characters, take a leadership test, and take a wound for each one he fails the leadership test by. But luckily, I picked one of my heralds, and he passed the leadership test, so no problem there. I had 3 dice, but I got 2 channels. And with my 5 dice, my Demon Prince sent off a purple sun, which landed right there in front of the knights. So hopefully that will cause them a bit of trouble. And the other thing we did was the Phlegm Bombardment from the Soul Grinder took out 5 of those men-at-arms. So there we are. So we will move over to Bretonnian turn 1. And we will get this party started. So we'll see what happens with that purple sun next turn. Catch you guys back up after that. End of Bretonnian turn 1, and this is how the battlefield is looking. Let's see. Tree Bucket over there took out 3 Plague Bearers over here. The Grail Knights charged in and picked on my poor little Nurglings and took out 3 bases and left 2 wounds on one. We lost, I think they killed 2 bases worth, and then we lost a base and a half to demonic instability. The the purple sun landed there. Unfortunately, didn't hit anybody. Moving over here, this unit of Knights of the Realm, they charged into the plague drones. They didn't do any wounds. I did 1 wound in return, and we lost a plague drone due to combat res. 1 plague drone was already wounded because the other tree bucket over there tried to hit this unit of plague bearers, and it drifted onto the plague drones and managed to smack one of them for 1 wound. So that is where we sit. And so, not a bad start for either side. Magic was a bit of a bust for the Bretonnians this turn, but we are going to move on to Demons turn 2, and we'll see what the Winds of Chaos have in store for us. Catch you guys back up after that. Okay, quite a good turn 2 for the forces of Nurgle. It was all chargers away. These plague bearers charged the questing knights. That ended up being a draw combat. Over here, this beast of Nurgle ended up holding up the whole shebang because he failed his charge into those knights, which meant the soul grinder couldn't get through into their flank. So we ended up having to go with this combat with just the plague drones alone. We lost a plague drone, and we did one wound, I think, to the knights in return. And we ended up losing, I think, the remaining wounds off that plague drone from, what is that? Demonic instability. Oh, and another thing, before I forget about it, we got the worst roll possible on the Reign of Chaos table, which was double ones, which meant every demon unit had to take a demonic instability test. So they took a wound. The plague drones took a wound from that. The soul grinder took a wound from that. The demon prince and this beast in Nurgle took a wound from that. Luckily, the great unclean one was okay. So back to the results. The plague drones lost, but they're still holding. Over here, the great unclean one took out about 8 men at arms, won that combat, but they were steadfast. Over here, in a surprise, the Beast of Nurgle ended up beating the Bretonnian Lords unit. They fled. They lost the favor of the lady, and they are currently fleeing with the beasts close behind them. Over here, the Demon Prince and the Beast of Nurgle both charged in here. We took out one Pegasus Knight, and they did not do any wounds in return, but they did make their leadership test. Expecting the Grail Knights to eventually break through the Nurglings there, this unit turned around, they reformed, and then moved at half speed in this direction. The combat with the Nurglings after demonic instability leaves one base of Nurglings left, so they're probably gone next turn. But all in all, even with the crappy demonic instability, I'll take a fleeing Bretonnian lord and his retinue over a couple wounds to demonic instability. So all in all, things are looking good. We're getting ready to move over to Bretonnian turn 2, and hopefully sooner or later one of us will be able to cast some magic in this game of magic and fantasy. So we will catch you guys back up after that. Okay, this is where things are sitting at the end of Bretonnian turn 2. The Grail Knights wiped out the last of the Nurglings and reformed, ready to take a charge from these Plague Bearers. Over here, the Archers moved through the woods, took out 2 Plague Bearers. The Battle Pilgrims decided to get in on this fight against the Beast of Nurgle. He had already suffered that wound. I think, yeah, after we did all the combat res, they ended up winning by 1, but neither one of them took any wounds from demonic instability. I did 1 wound to the Pegasi or Pegasus Knights with the Demon Prince. Over here, the Lord's unit rallied and they reformed, getting ready to accept another charge from those Beasts of Nurgle. Over here, the Great Unclean One, actually, he killed only 3 this turn. So the peasants won that combat, but he held fast. Over here, these Knights of the Realm finally finished off the Plague Drones, and they reformed, ready to face the Soul Grinder. And over here, this was a drawn combat between the Knights and the Plague Bearers. So both units there holding fast. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, both trebuchets tried to drop a rock on the Soul Grinder and scattered off. And the peasant bowmen back there managed to take 2 wounds off of him with their longbows. So that is where we sit there. Did anything happen with magic?
All I did was kill 3 plague bearers. You dispelled everything else.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they got hit with awakening in the woods. I got lucky with some dispels. So yeah, that's where we're at, and we're gonna head over.
Oh yeah, you did.
I dispelled the
Yeah, you dispelled
The wild form. Yeah, you tried to cast the wild form on
and
it.
the other augment I tried to cast.
Yeah.
Flesh of Stone. That's it.
Yeah, we didn't need any toughness 7 knights because he does have what's that? Throne of Vines up. Why don't you put the Throne of Vines card next to the what's Prophetess, so we remember that she has it. Because I keep forgetting. All right, so that's it. That's the end of Bretonnian turn 2. We're going to move over to Nurgle turn 3 and see where things are at. At the end of Nurgle turn 3, this is where we sit. All right, these plague bearers charged into these knights. We saw that going a little bit differently in our mind. We ended up losing that combat. I think we lost 2 to the demonic instability. Over here, the addition of the battle pilgrims helped out there. They ended up taking out the beast of Nurgle through demonic instability. They reformed, and they're going to probably charge into the Demon Prince next turn. The Demon Prince whiffed on his attacks, but in the magic phase, he took out one of the Pegasus Knights with a Spirit Leech. Over here, the Beast of Nurgle charged in. We did 3 wounds to the Knights. They did 3 wounds to us. So we ended up losing that combat by 1, but we didn't take any damages. The Great Unclean One took out a whole bunch of the Peasant Spearmen with a, Stream of Corruption in the magic phase. And then what did he kill? Another 11 in combat?
The Great Unclean One?
Yeah, the Great Unclean One.
He killed like 2.
Yeah, but he killed 2? Oh, he killed the 6 with the Thunder Stomp. Yeah. So he killed a whole bunch, but they were steadfast, so they're staying. Over here, the Soul Grinder charged into the Knights. He completely whiffed. He tried to do that Iron Claw attack into the Battle Standard Bearer, and he failed his initiative test, but made all of his armor and ward saves. So he didn't take any wounds. They didn't do any wounds back to him, but they've reformed so that they get more attacks next turn. Over here, the Questing Knights ended up winning this combat. We didn't take any wounds from demonic instability, but they have also reformed and learning the idea of getting more attacks in the subsequent combats. So that is where we stand. The Bretonnians, they were kind of taking some hits, but then now they're starting to make a stand. We'll see if they can have a good magic phase and kind of turn things around. We do still have kind of one reserve unit of Plague Bearers here that's ready to join into the fray if necessary. But all in all, I think this is a pretty close game. So we will move over to Bretonnian turn 3. Okay, here we are at the end of Bretonnian turn 3, and I have to say I did not see that going that way. Starting over here, these Plague Bearers ended up losing, lost a couple to demonic instability. Over here, the Demon Prince lost by only 1, and he ended up taking a wound to demonic instability. These archers moved over here, picked off one of these guys. One of the trebuchets got a direct hit on them and took off a couple more. Over here on the combat with the Beast of Nurgle, I killed 1 knight and then lost a Beast of Nurgle in return. The big surprise here is the damsel turned herself into a great horned dragon with the... Is that what that is?
It's like a great red dragon.
Great red dragon with transformation of Kadan, and she got a really bad miscast. What was that? Calamitous detonation?
Mm-hmm.
No, dimensional cascade. But she only did 1 wound to herself.
Correction, great fire dragon.
Great fire dragon. She did 1 wound to herself, killed like 5 peasants and did a wound to the Great Unclean One. And then she did 2 more wounds to the Great Unclean One in combat.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's not looking good. He's got 1 wound left. Over here, the Soul Grinder put a wound on the Prophetess with the, what is that? The Iron Claw attack. And then he ended up losing, and he rolled really bad on demonic instability and lost the rest of his wounds. So they both reformed as such. And then over here, these guys completely whiffed and almost went poof. They rolled an 11 for their demonic instability, and they ended up losing 7 more to that. So it's not looking great for the forces of Nurgle, but I still think we have plenty of tools here to work with. But we shall see how things go on Nurgle turn 4 coming up. All right. Well, I have to say that was a rough turn for Nurgle. Starting at over here, the Grail Knights ended up winning this combat, not by a lot, but the Plague Bearers rolled a 12 for their leadership test, so the whole unit went poof, and that frees them up. Over here, these guys snuck their last wound through onto the Demon Prince and took him out. Over here, these guys just marched up because they were too far out to get over there. The Beasts of Nurgle ended up winning this combat, but the Knights didn't break. And over here, the dragon took the last wound off the Great Unclean One, so he went down after taking a couple spearmen with him. And moving all the way over here, this unit ended up doing no wounds to the Knights in combat and lost 2, and then lost another one to demonic instability. So really all we have left is that unit of Beasts of Nurgle and this big block of Plague Bearers. So at this point, I think I'm going to call that game in favor of the Bretonnians. I think Magic really kind of let down Nurgle this time because we never got a good Magic phase until turn 4. See, what was it? The first turn we got, 3 dice. Turn 2, we got 2 dice. I don't remember what we got last turn, and then this turn we finally got 8 dice. So that was a little rough. It's not all the Magic dice's fault, though. I did make a big mistake. I should have sent this unit in with the Great Unclean One and just forgot about it. Can you close that door over there? So that's my mistake. But it was still a fun game. It's always fun to take the demons out for a play. We may have to do a rematch on this one. What do you have to say? Anything you want to add?
This is definitely a really fun game. Bretonnians, even though I was using the 7th edition book, they definitely felt like a really interesting army to play because with the lance formation, you definitely play a bit more with reforming and trying to get more or less ranks, a lot more than your usual army.
Yeah, sometimes giving up those that rank bonus does get you a lot more attacks with the Bretonnians. So that is something to consider there. Especially when you have these big buses of knights. It's always a help. I was a little disappointed in the Nurglings. I just don't think they're pulling their weight. Because I think for those 6 Nurglings, I probably could have had more Beasts of Nurgle. And honestly, I think the Beasts of Nurgle and the Great Unclean One probably did the most work of anything. Maybe the Demon Prince. So maybe putting some more points into them. I don't know. Tempted to retool this list and try it again. What do you think?
Yeah, that could be interesting. I definitely felt like this game definitely had a lot more like the slap fight kind of stuff in it. Since like the Plague Drones never did, or the Plague Drones and the Soul Grinder couldn't take out one of the knights in that block there.
Yeah, I was trying to use the Iron Claw rule to take out your characters. I probably should have focused on the unit, but I was thinking maybe if I got the characters, then that would just add to combat res. But yeah, that was a mistake too.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Bretonnians are definitely difficult to play against since, like, let me look. Only 12, or I guess, 14 knights died. Two of them were Pegasus knights, and another was a banner.
You were doing great on the ward saves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe we will retool this list a little bit, and we will have a rematch of this game. I think that could be fun. What do you think? You good with that?
Yeah, maybe we can try the Warhammer Armies Bretonnian book.
Yeah, they do add back some neat things that they had in 3rd through 5th edition that are missing from the 7th edition Bretonnian book. So yeah, all in all, fun game. Definitely see some holes in this list, but like everything, as long as we had fun playing, that's all that matters. And maybe we'll also break out Epidemus and see what he does. All right, thanks everybody for watching. We got a Bretonnian victory here, and we will see you next time around.